NBA season is coming up in a few weeks, and lately I've been really ready for this season because there has been so many trades and so many draft call ups happening, and this is like one of the greatest. Probably this might be one of the greatest seasons in NBA history. Like we already have, the Lakers team with DeAndre Ayton, Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron and Hachimura. We also got the big starting five in the Mavericks with Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, AD, Cooper Flag, and Derek Lively. We also have the Rockets with KD and Amen Thompson and Şengün and everybody. But and etc. There's so many teams I'm ready for, and I'm gonna do a video on this after this. But what I'm also ready for is the players that has been working hard this year, and what else? I basically covered it. That have been working hard this year and everything. So that is why I'm making 10 basketball players that can be the MVP of the 2025 through 2026 season. So without further ado, let's just get started. So the first person that we are starting off is Luka, and this is probably the most I think everybody's everybody's predicting that Luka could win the MVP. Hold up, I heard my phone going on. Well, I will just get it later. But anyway, everybody saying that Luka could win the 2025 through 2026 MVP because of his journey of him losing a lot of weight, and he's like 230 now. Yeah, he's like 230 and everything. But anyway, I think this might be Luka's year to win the MVP and a championship. And I'm not glazing the Lakers this year, but I'm just saying they already have LeBron, Austin Reeves, and DeAndre Ayton, and these are and Hachimura. These are great players on a starting five that can actually do something. And what else? Yeah, their defense is going to be crazy with DeAndre Ayton, and the rebounds with Luka, LeBron, and DeAndre Ayton. It's like they're going to have a lot of help, especially with DeMarcus Smart being on the team too. So with Luka, but talking about Luka individually, he might pull up at least 8.8 rebounds and probably 10.1 assists and 30.5 rebound points. So yeah, he's everybody's favorite to win the MVP. Let's talk about another favorite, which is in Nikola Jokic. Now this is the triple double king, alongside with Russell Westbrook and all the other names. But anyway, Nikola Jokic is one of the best players that we have in this generation, and the best two-way player that we have in this league right now. He can pull up 32.5 points, 11.1 rebounds, and then 10.5 assists, and that's MVP worthy. So if you guys don't put him in at least the top 5 and runners up of the MVP, then y'all crazy. But anyway, Nikola Jokic is just really talented even though he's not even trying to. He can just chuck up a half court shot and it goes in. So you can't have him in the top 5 of runners up of the MVP. Okay, I have to really think about how can Anthony Edwards be an MVP, and I really had to think about this because I was thinking about Luka. I was oh, okay, he can win MVP, but what about Anthony Edwards? Because he has improved so much over this decade that he can and he is one of my favorite players right now. because of his athleticism and everything. But after thinking about it, I was like, I don't know if he can win MVP, but at the same time, he can, because he has improved so much in the 2020 decade that he is like worthy to be MVP material. And after like digging a hole to figure out what can Anthony Edwards do to become MVP, and it's really mostly because of points, defense, and his other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So what Anthony Edwards needs to do better is probably pulling up at least 1.1 blocks per game, and try to get 2.4 steals per game, and make sure his rebounding percentage is higher, and same for his assists, and then his points is actually good, because I have to go back to see what was his stats last year, and overall stats of his career. So yeah, Victor Wembanyama. Now he is one of my favorite players currently, and if you really think about it, he already has I don't know how many points per game, but I know he has he can go up to 12 rebounds per game, and 3.7 assists per game, and his steals, I don't know. I know his blocks is 2.5 at least, 2.5 or higher. But anyway, if this dude wins MVP, he might be probably one of the best basketball players of all time, especially in his third year. This is his third year. Yeah, in his third year of him being in the NBA. I was about to say MVP, but of him being in the NBA, I think this is probably one of the best things that the NBA actually has, besides outside of LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, and some other players, and Magic Johnson. But Victor Wembanyama is just really talented, and he is a beast. And he grew now he's 7'5", and he's 236 pounds. Because I actually looked up his because I already looked him up before doing this. But anyway, Victor Wembanyama is a candidate to be the MVP. He can be at least top 5, but I also think he can be top 3. I don't know if Anthony Edwards can't be in the top 3 or top 5, then you have to put Wembanyama on the top 5 or top 3. Okay, I know that. Okay, I'm thinking Jalen Brunson can win MVP, but it's so hard for me to actually say it. To say you know what, he's winning MVP 100%. But what is the cons of him winning the MVP, and that is his defense. I know he's a point guard and he's 6 and he's 6'2", but it's really hard for me to say it's really hard for him to do a lot of defensive stuff, because he's a point guard and he doesn't have good defense. Now I would replace him with Tyrese Halliburton, but Tyrese Halliburton's injured and he's not going to be playing this season. But Jalen Brunson is a real good candidate, but once again, I would have replaced him with Tyrese Halliburton, but he's injured. But his point, his clutch shooting is phenomenal. And I don't know how many rebounds he had per game. I think his assist is 7 point or 6.5, 6.6. I don't know, but I should have done this before doing this video. But anyway, he is a candidate, but he's not going to be in the top 3. He's going to be at least in the top 10 or top 5. But what else can I do? Once again, I would replace Tyrese Halliburton for Jalen Brunson. And once again, Tyrese Halliburton is injured. We got my boy John Morant. And listen, John Morant is also talented. And to me, if he can do things right this season, like if he can stay healthy, he doesn't get any trouble. All he needs to do is just make sure he gets some good, make sure he gets some good steals, some rebounds, some points, some just he just really needs to do everything on his stat list, and then he can be like probably top 3 in the MVP candidates. And like, here's the thing. Like, I remember John Morant was my favorite player of 2022 because of his athleticism. And then he needs to stick with that. His athleticism is working and everything. And now like then like 2023, 2024, and 2025, it was like, I don't know, like because of his injuries, and then him getting in trouble with some gun stuff. But if he does things right, if he does things 100% right, then he is then he can be MVP and etc. Because like his Memphis team is good because of the guy Zach Edey. Wait, is it Yeedy or Edey? I think it's Edey because with an E. But anyway, like another thing is all about the team. Like, you remember how I was saying about Luka? Like, Luka's team with the Lakers is really phenomenal. That Luka can be the MVP. Same for John Morant, Zion Williamson. Look at that bicep, bro. Hold up, my phone is in the way. But let's talk about Zion Williamson. So probably in like 2021, 2021, he was like one of my favorite players until he went out of shape and he started getting injured over the years. And now he is in incredible shape because of like once again, look at that bicep, bro. Look, hold up. Look at this. But anyway, his New Orleans team has Kevin Looney. They have Jordan Poole, the big 3. If Kevin Looney becomes the starting center or something. I need to stretch. But I'll keep talking. Zion Williamson is incredible. Like, I think before John Morant and before Anthony Edwards were in the league, or I should say were rising up, Zion Williamson was like, or I think everybody would have said like Zion Williamson was like the future face of the NBA. But sadly, when he went out of shape and he started getting injured, that fell. But now he's in incredible shape. And then I think what Zion Williamson can do is bring him back up, and then he can go up and have like 20 points per game, and like 7 rebounds per game and 5 assists, and then probably he can win MVP. And he's like at the bottom of my list between like Anthony Edwards, Luka, who else did I say? Nikola Jokic and my phone. Okay, I'll have to find it later. After this, I'm done. After this, I'll just find my phone just to see. But you already know what I mean. Evan Mobley. Now, you guys may be thinking like, why Evan Mobley over Donovan Mitchell? Here's why. Defensive player of the year, right? Defensive player of the year. And then he can win MVP. Because, listen, like, I don't know how many points he averaged per game, like, and everything. I know his I don't know like what is his stat line, but like I heard he is like a real defensive threat and an offensive threat as well. But but he can, I don't know if he can dribble, but I gotta play him in the game, and I also gotta see his highlights and everything. But I feel like he can be MVP because of his defense and everything. Like I think his defense might his defensive stats might be higher than his offensive stats. And then another thing, like his team with the Cavs with Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Jared? Allen, and like all of his other players are like a great team, and I think they're going to be top 5 in the East. I was almost said West, but East. But anyway, since that team is really good, I feel like either Donovan Mitchell or Evan Mobley might be MVP. Okay, why is Kevin Durant in there? Now, here's what I've been hearing. Like, Kevin Durant is like 30. I know he's 37 years old, but now since he's on the Rockets and like he's not gonna be like the number one guy on the team now. If you really think about it, like the Rockets have like Amen Thompson, they have Şengün, Jabari Smith, Fred VanVleet, and then now him, Kevin Durant. That team is absolutely stacked, and this is like probably like my number one team, probably like my number one favorite team already, even though I haven't seen them play. But I'm saying this right now, this Rockets team is absolutely stacked, and it can be like probably in the playoffs this year. I don't know if they can win the finals, but the playoffs I'm for sure. Okay, but anyway, let's talk about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is probably one of the greatest, probably top 20 greatest basketball players of all time. His scoring is phenomenal. His defense is really good. But we're talking about older KD. He's 37. I feel like we can give him the MVP one more time before he retires, because he's like I said, he's 37. And after he's retired, he can be like top. Probably could be number 11, or like I don't know where he ranks in my favorites or greatest in my opinions, but like he's like probably 12th or 14th. We have last year's MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he also won the championship. And really, it was sad because Tyrese Halliburton was injured, and that's how they actually won. But listen, Shai has an incredible team by his side with Chet Holmgren, Dort, Alex Caruso, Hartenstein, and yeah, that's really it. And like some other bench players that I might not be thinking of. So he was last year's MVP winner, and to me it was a good choice because Jokic, because they eliminated Jokic's team, the Nuggets, out of the playoffs, and then he kept continuing in the playoffs and finally won the MVP and the Finals MVP. Okay, now next year, I don't know if he can win because I just want someone new. But if he wins back to back, I won't be mad, and that also might set up like a Tyrese Halliburton revenge or a comeback or just comeback thing with Tyrese Halliburton probably winning the MVP as well, and then probably going to the finals and finally winning the championship. And I think they're going to run it back because do you know how phenomenal that that series was? It was a really good series, and I feel like they should run it back, especially with with the Thunder and Pacers were going after, because like they were actually competing. They went into Game 7, and if they don't go back to this, I'll be like, okay, I think the Pacers are gonna win. But like now, this is like competition. This is competition. Okay, y'all, that is the end of the video. Make sure you guys leave appropriate comments down below. Give this video a like, subscribe to Multiverse Lovers, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll see you guys next time with another video, which will be every team that I'm actually ready for. Bye.